Dear colleague, this video dives into how the Mercy Hands Google Drive can be of benefit to you and here with our team and our entity. To gain access to the Google Drive of Mercy Hands, there are some steps to take, and by diving together into the structure, you know exactly where you can find what. So Mercy Hands purchased an account called mercyhandsdrive@gmail.com to make sure that all these documents are collected in one place, and that, for example, when someone decides to join the organization and he or she would like to know about previous projects, they can always find information back. And it will also make sure that when someone decides to leave the organization, that the documents can be found on the Mercy Hands Drive also in the future, no matter if they decide to empty their own Google Drive. So how does it look? Here you can find a folder to the general templates and policies. Here the program department with the sub-departments, the MIL, finance and logistics department, including security, administration department, including HR, public relations and communications, and IT. And then here a link to our sister organization and income generating projects. As an organization, we collect all our documents under the program department per project. So for example, if you have any document related to RPA 73, you'll find it under livelihood and thus under the program department. The same is, for example, for HR. So if there's any document related to specific staff of a project, it is part of this program department. But documents that, for example, contain all our staff as an overview, those are part of the HR general folder. The same for the other departments. So the structure is everything is here, unless it is purely related to our entity in general, then you can find it under the other departments. So going to the program department, you will find a vision and capacity exchange folder for best practices and inspiration in terms of project management, but also, for example, project design. Actually, the aim is to have in the end one folder with best practices per stage of the project cycle. This folder is for cross-cutting elements. So for example, documents that have to do with the whole program department and not specifically with the sub-departments. And then one folder per sub-department, from livelihood to health. Here you can find a partnership and cluster folder, but again, only if it is for general partnerships, not if it's related to only one project, because then you can find it under the sub-departments and big funding mechanisms, for example, IHF. Each subfolder of the program department has the same structure. You will always find a shortcut to the policies. A shortcut makes sure that we don't have a copy of the same document, but purely a button on which you can click to go to that folder. It prevents extra storage. Then a folder to our projects of that department, the cluster and coordination platforms of the department, the strategy, achievements, and monthly updates of the department, and the resources and research. Then going to the projects folder, where we will mostly be as an organization. In this case, education, but for example, the same for livelihood protection, emergency response and recovery, etc. You'll find one folder to the project design stage. So whenever we create a new project, you can find it here. Then once we win it, it will be moved to the current projects. And once it's done and completed, you'll find it here. Then going into this folder of project design, you'll find the ones that are currently being created and not submitted to the donor yet. The ones will be found here if it has been submitted and we're waiting for an answer of the donor. Here you can find the ones that are not chosen by the donor that can be reused by us in the future. And like I explained before, once we win a project, we move it to the current project folder. So how do we do that? For example, you can go here. These folders are currently pending with donors. So you can right click, move to, and then you will find the structure of the drive by going 1 second back, one more, current projects, and you can click move here. In this way, when you want to know which projects are ongoing per department, you can go to the folder of the current projects. And each folder of a project has always the same structure so that we always know where to find it back, but also so that you can use the search bar and can find information easily. The structure is always first the year in which the project started, then the code of the project, if it's there. For example, you see it here, which department it falls under, the partner, governorate, donor, and the title. So if ever you want to create a new project and you want to know what kind of products have been implemented before in Baghdad, you can type it here. And by making sure that each folder has the same structure, you can find now, for example, that there is one being created and one ongoing. This means also that we currently have to join forces as an organization to make sure that all our previous projects that are not yet on the Mercy Hands Google Drive will be moved there. So for this, I've reached out to you. And if we weren't in touch yet to make this happen, then please contact me. Also to make sure that you have your own access to the Mercy Hands Google Drive. So here you can see the colleagues who already created their own folder called Mercy Hands Stripe and then their name. And this makes sure that then I can add all the shortcuts to the Mercy Hands Google Drive to that folder. Then it would look like this. And in this way, you can always access the information that you need to find to reach your purpose. And here is the mission of the organization. If there are any questions, please let me know anytime. Skype is the fastest way, or call. And yeah, if you have any ideas for optimization, also let me know. But the first steps would be to create your own folder by contacting me, so I will give you access, and moving all your project folders to the Mercy Hands Google Drive. We can also do this together if you like. But for now, wish you a very good day and see you later.